Hi boys and girls, welcome back to art. I hope that you finished your last art project and we're going to start a new one this week. I hope you had the opportunity to look at some of the videos that I posted beforehand, and that now we're going to get started on creating our art piece this week. You should have a white piece of paper. This one is 9 by 12. You don't want to use the regular printer paper that you might have in because it's a lot thinner. This is a little bit thicker paper. I have some in the office if you need to pick some up, but it is drawing paper. And so this time I'm going to have my paper horizontal this way in a landscape, not facing up and down like this. So we're going to have it turned horizontal. The very first thing I need to do is I need to put my name on my paper. So you're going to actually write your name, and then I want you to write a number for your grade. So if you're 4th grade, write 4th grade or 4, or you can do 5 for 5th grade. Then you're also going to write your teacher's name. So if you were in Miss Tapia's class, I'm going to write Tapia. If you're in one of the other teachers' classrooms, you're going to write their name. That way, if you come to bring me your artwork so that I can hang it up, I know who it belongs to and who I need to give it back to. I'm going to flip my paper over, and the first thing I'm going to want to draw on my paper is I need to separate my paper from a background and a foreground. The foreground is kind of going to be like our table and what our donut is going to be sitting on top of. And this is going to actually be the wall behind your donut. So if you were looking at it and you took a picture of it, this would be your table or your counter, and this would be the wall behind it. So the way we establish and make a foreground and a background is we need a horizon. And a horizon is a line that goes across your paper horizontally and separates the two. So we're going to go in about the middle of the paper. I'm a little bit less, and I'm going to make that horizon from left to right all the way to the end of my paper. And I'm almost in the middle of my paper right now, boys and girls, but not quite. So now I've actually created a foreground that's in the front of my paper. This is my table. And my background, this is going to be a wall in this case. Sometimes this is the ground outside and this is the sky. So that's how we create the two different areas in our artwork. And sometimes we even have a middle ground, so we would have another line in here. But today we're only going to do foreground and background using a horizon. Hi boys and girls. All right, so we started with dividing our paper with our horizon, and we are now going to be coloring our foreground and our background. And if you notice, Mrs. Schaff has already started off with some colors, and all of these colors have something that are the same and similar. And I want to see if you notice what they are. We talked about this in the very beginning of the year, one of our first projects, and there was 2 groups of colors in this, and this is one group, and we're going to use my other group of colors to color my background, and this is my foreground. So if you said warm colors, you were correct. These right here are my warm colors. And if you notice, I'm just creating lines and I'm coloring them in completely using a very dark, rich color, and I'm just going in and I'm using my colors, and I just create a line and I take and I fill it in. But when I fill it in, this time I am filling in my colors with more value, so that means it has a darker value right now. So that means I'm pressing down harder on my crayon instead of coloring light like this. I really want those colors to be dark and rich and vibrant. So you're going to press down a little bit harder, boys and girls, to create that vibrant look in your colors. And so you're going to do one section warm and one section cool. And so I want you to start coloring, and we'll come back to talk about our foreground and our background. All right, so I have finished coloring my foreground. Now I actually need to color my background, which again, this is going to become my wall of my picture if I was taking a picture of my donut sitting on the table, and this would be the wall that's behind it. And so we talked about a few minutes ago that this was warm colors, which means my other side is going to become cool colors. And I'm going to use colors in the cool color family to color my artwork, and those are going to be your blues. And yes, you might see this one, it looks like it might be in here, and it's very hard with the way the color wheel is facing. This actually falls in. Now there is another one, red, violet red, and red violet, which is kind of confusing. This one would fall in the warmer colors because it has more red in it, and this one falls in the cooler colors because it has more purple in it. So our purples, our blues, and our greens are the ones that are going to be in our cool colors. And now I'm going to create, and I even did a pattern here so that it repeats, and I'm going to do the same thing over here, creating another design that doesn't match this using my cool colors. So try that out. Remember, you're coloring very dark and rich and vibrant colors, so that means you're going to press down a little bit harder. Just don't break your crayons, boys and girls. So hopefully you've gotten done coloring your warm and cool background and foreground. So I have my horizon that I drew across my paper. I did warm colors in one section and cool colors in another section. So you're going to get this done so that we can be ready for next week, because next week we're going to add some paint on top of it, and we're going to scrape it with another item to create texture. And so get ready for next week. I hope you have fun with this, boys and girls. I love all the color and the bright, it looks beautiful. Bye, boys and girls.